I'm getting my COVID-19 test. Who's gonna give it to me? I'm at CVS. Please wear a pair.
Bear with me one moment.
Please wear self-swab as instructed by colleague. Oh my gosh. I have to self-swab. Use provided wipe to clean lid of collection bin. Drop completed test kit into collection bin. Self-swab as instructed by colleague. Close specimen bag with self-swab sample inside. Use provided wipe to clean lid of collection bin. Drop completed test kit into collection bin. Self-swab as instructed by colleague. Please wear a face mask covering when window is open.
Alright, I'm going to grab your paperwork and get your things together. I'll be right back.
Okay. Let's see.
New infections being identified each day in the United States.
Cases have increased by about 30% since late November, with about 1,100 deaths per day. And though Omicron is spreading, 99% of infections are from the Delta variant. CDC Director Rochelle Walensky says vaccines, tests, and masking all help, and she encouraged everyone who's eligible, now including 16 and 17-year-olds, to get boosted.
We must act in this moment to mobilize together to do what really matters.
Preliminary studies suggest protection against Omicron will be diminished, but scientists say the current vaccines should help protect against serious illness from the new variant. Allison Albury, NPR News.
Heavy snow is on the way to large portions of the United States, but according to the Associated Press, not enough snowplow drivers to clear the streets. States such as New Mexico, Nevada, Colorado, Utah are all projected to get several inches, as much as a foot in higher elevations. However, state transportation departments across the U.S. are having a tough time filling jobs requiring commercial driver's licenses, positions that often come with unpredictable hours and modest pay. This is NPR News.
Support for NPR comes from NPR stations. Other contributors include Your Part-Time Controller, specializing in nonprofit accounting. Your Part-Time Controller helps nonprofit organizations with their accounting needs, remotely or in person. More at yourparttimecontroller.com.
Sometimes it seems like the news industry is one big runaway train, headed way too fast, destination unknown. I'm Elsa Chang. At All Things Considered, we plan our daily voyage carefully and take the time to see the important sights along the way. Don't worry, we'll still get you where you need to go. All Things Considered from NPR News. Enjoy the journey. This afternoon at 4.
From NPR and WBUR, I'm Peter O'Dowd in Phoenix.
And I'm Tanya Mosley in Los Angeles. This is Here and Now. The Supreme Court today allowed a near total ban on abortion in Texas to stand. But the justices also said abortion providers could continue their lawsuit to overturn it.
Also in the news today, the Labor Department reported the highest inflation this country has seen in nearly 4 decades. And a court ordered the former President Donald Trump to turn over records from January 6th, the day his supporters stormed the Capitol. Let's get to our Friday Politics Roundtable. We've got Margaret Talev, Axios Managing Editor, and Eugene Daniels, Politico White House correspondent and co-author of Politico's Playbook. Welcome to you both. Good to speak with you.
Hi, Peter.
Good to speak with you, too.
Hi there. So, first to the Texas abortion law, which bans the procedure after about 6 weeks. Margaret, what does it tell you that the Supreme Court didn't block the part of the law that allows private citizens anywhere in the country to enforce it by suing abortion providers?
Yeah, I mean, it is a very interesting verdict because it is a mixed verdict. As you say, it allows a law to continue, at least for now, while this proceeds. On the other hand, it didn't shut down the avenue for proponents of abortion rights. There are two other things to watch at the same time, though, and one is that a lot of activists on both sides of this issue feel that this case out of Mississippi that is more of an outright challenge to Roe v. Wade and attaches to 15 weeks, that is really going to be probably the case where the modern future of abortion rights are decided, and that's a decision that could come between probably closer to June, folks think. And then the final piece is what Chief Justice Roberts himself kind of calls out in this case, which is whether the Texas law is an effort to do an end around and undercut ultimately the role of the U.S. Supreme Court itself. So there is a lot packed into here, but if you are an American woman who feels that this is an important personal or health care right, you don't care about any of that stuff. You want to know how this is going to affect you. For now, if you are in Texas, this law continues while it is challenged.
Yeah, and Eugene, of course, this is quite political. Montana Senator Steve Daines, a Republican, tweeted today that the law is saving countless lives each day that it stays into effect. Our fight to protect all life, no matter how small, is only just beginning. And also, on the other side, California Congresswoman Judy Chu, a Democrat, she said on Twitter that Texas women have little to no access to safe abortion care. We can't wait for the Supreme Court to affirm our right to make choices about our own bodies. She also went on to call for federal legislation to guarantee a woman's right to a legal abortion. Is that just a complete non-starter, considering the makeup of Congress right now?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. That is basically a non-starter. There is, a push, and is a push every time that it seems like Roe itself is in danger to codify Roe into law. There is something that has already passed the House that would do something similar to that, and I think that is where you have Democrats putting a lot of their hopes. But we know that in the Senate, and we've talked about this with every single issue that's popped up since January, is that they don't have the votes in the Senate to do so. And so they have to depend on what the Supreme Court is going to do and say on Roe overall, and also on SB 8 here. And that's the thing that is frustrating for abortion advocates, because they've been calling for the codifying of Roe for a very long time. And even when Democrats had the votes to do so, they didn't do that.
Drop this.
It certainly raises the stakes.
Down.
Yeah, politically though, right? I mean, so I was going to say, 2022 is a big midterm year. What is going to be the issue that drives voters on the ballot? Up until now, we have thought, once upon a time, very plainly, everyone thought it would be COVID. Now it will be the economic repercussions of COVID. If this all comes to a head sometime around June with a bigger Supreme Court ruling, you can bet that at least for a segment of American voters, women voters, suburban voters, voters of a certain age, abortion will then become a driving issue. And some Republicans are actually quite worried about that. Some Democrats are, I'm going to put this in quotes, excited about it. I think for most Democrats, they see they have very little and waning power to protect this right, long-standing right for women, but
they dropped it in that container
pivotal
with a
election
key.
Would be certainly a poignant time to try to turn out voters. So the politics of this and the real life implications are going to totally mix in the months to come, and it's going to be quite an explosive issue.
Yeah, we'll definitely be watching for that.
My sample.
I want to ask you about
with my
another
name,
issue that
date of birth,
that's in the news right
date
now,
of test.
and that's January 6th. We're coming on the year anniversary of
with my email.
Against former President Trump.
These are on record. They'll send me the results to my email
getting records of what he did,
in a day or two.
On that day, his supporters attacked the Capitol while Congress was certifying the election last January.
That was wonderful.
Do you think his records will get to Congress?
Now I can go home.
It's possible, right? He
do what I have to do.
Ruling gave him 2 weeks to try to delay the effective ruling